Hey, welcome back to Sober Now. I'm Jim LaPierre. Today we're going to be talking about redirection. And redirection is something that's very subtle and subconsciously done. Again, we don't typically do unhealthy things consciously. Redirection is our tendency to turn everything around on ourselves. So we do it most often when we realize that we're angry with someone, especially if it's somebody we care about, when we feel hurt by someone, or when we feel disappointed with outcomes. So a lot of us are uncomfortable with at least some of what we call negative emotions. Anger is usually the biggest one. We're people who associate anger with violence or hurtful behavior or abuse. And so a lot of us struggle to allow ourselves to feel anger and to express it in a healthy way. We tend to associate anger with loss of control, and so we avoid it. And when we avoid our true emotions, we have a tendency to minimize, justify, and rationalize. Those are the hallmarks of an addictive brain, which don't go away just because we're in recovery. We still have a lot of subconscious processes in which we're trying very hard not to be powerless. So, for example, if I feel disappointed by something that a loved one's done, it's more comfortable for me to fault myself for having an expectation or for expecting or hoping things to get better than it is to express to them, look, I feel disappointed. This is not what we agreed to, or this is not what we were working towards. Same kind of thing when we look at being hurt. It takes an enormous amount of vulnerability to express to someone, look, what you've done or what you've said has hurt me. It's much easier to fault myself. It's much easier for me to find a way to blame myself for what it is that that person has done, instead of allowing myself to feel hurt, allowing myself to express it, and seeking accountability from the person who hurt me. But I'm very fond of the expression, through your silence you acquiesce. So in other words, we treat people how to treat us by the limits we set, the boundaries we set, and what it is we express to them in terms of how their behavior and their words affect us. So I'm hoping that you can catch yourself. If you're really focused on you, even for a few minutes, you can look at the things that are going on in your life recently. How do you feel about them? Typically, we only gain insight into ourselves by processing with someone else, with a sponsor or a coach or somebody that we really care, feel trust for. And if we do that, they can help us notice ways in which maybe we've redirected at ourselves. Magicians and illusionists rely on what's called the art of misdirection. So in other words, they turn our attention away from what they're doing to create the appearance of magic or an illusion. Redirection is, I have an emotional experience based on something that's external to myself, and I redirect it back at myself. And now I have the illusion of control. I feel like this is something that I created, I'm responsible for it, and I can maintain the illusion that if I do everything right, then no one will be able to hurt me, or disappoint me, or make me angry. And that's just not true. So I'm entitled to what I feel. I'm entitled to express it in ways that are healthy. I have a responsibility to myself to do so, because I think you'll find that whatever we don't express, we tend to stuff, we tend to bury, and that really just becomes fuel for anxiety, depression, or both. So I also want to put a plug in for journaling, because this is a great way to take the stuff that's on the hamster wheel, bring it out into the open. It looks different. We can make some changes here. As always, please write to me, jim@sobernow.com. Let me know what kind of topics you'd like covered and what kind of questions you have. Please share the videos, and if you get on our YouTube station, please put yourself down for a subscription and a like so that we can keep these conversations rolling. Please take excellent care of you. Thanks. Have a great day.